So, my name is Candace Murphy, and I live in Franklin County, Missouri, St. Clair, actually. My daughter was taken from me by her father when she was 2 years old. I'm afraid for my life because the county is so corrupt. They're so crooked. They have stripped me of my rights completely. They threw me in jail to make sure that after I was kidnapped and roofied and raped, and I woke up in the middle of nowhere. I walked several miles to get back to town, where I was immediately handcuffed and arrested and thrown in jail in the adjoining county. And I was kept there by the attorney, the prosecutor, the assistant prosecutor, who was the attorney on my custody case. He withdrew from my custody case, and 30 minutes later, I was assigned a different judge and sent into a different courtroom. I had not seen my daughter for over a month at least, and I've tried to get help. I've tried to call attorneys in the state, and no one will help me. I haven't seen or talked to my little girl in over 3 years. I have suspected her father of touching her sexually, and I've tried to mail in family access motions, and they send them back to me. They closed the courthouse. They refused to allow me to speak without an attorney, which my attorney quit. And he just so happened to be the prosecutor that wouldn't allow me to leave the jail that I was being held in. And they denied me access to my daughter's medical records. They changed her last name. They denied me access to her school records. I have no contact with her whatsoever. And the special process server on my case was just brought up on federal charges for filing false documents and forgery. My daughter's guardian ad litem is now the Franklin County prosecuting attorney. Her dad's attorney is now the Franklin County judge. And the judge on my case at the time, who refused to even allow me to speak, he was supposed to retire 2 years ago, and he refuses to leave the bench. He has threatened my life. He's threatened my family. He knows that I have paperwork that can prove these allegations, every single one of these allegations, and he refuses to allow me to leave the county. He refuses to leave the bench, and he's been having people threaten to burn my house down so that he could get rid of the paperwork that I have and kill me. So, if anything, my husband also was just murdered in jail, and I was just thrown in jail on a warrant, on a detainer where they stripped me naked and threw me in a cell for 4 days with no clothing whatsoever, no underwear, no socks, absolutely nothing. If I end up dead, I want it to be known that it was absolutely the politicians in Franklin County, Missouri, that murdered me. And I'm afraid for my daughter's life. I'm afraid that if she gets old enough to talk about the sexual abuse that she's been living with all these years, because rather than these people admit that they made a mistake and they stripped me of my rights for absolutely no reason, they're trying to say that I was served in person at the Franklin County Courthouse on June the 20th of 2017, And that's impossible because I was in the adjoining county in jail on that day. And the day that I was arrested is the day that he filed for me to have no contact with my daughter, and they refused to release me from jail until the day that he was in court getting everything that he asked for, because I was supposedly served at their courthouse in person, but that's impossible because I was in another county in jail. And the prosecuting attorney that refused to release me from jail just so happened to be my attorney that withdrew from my case right before his honorable judge took my little girl away. She was 4 years old at the time, and they won't even tell me who her doctor is. I have no access to find out if she's had. I've tried to call DFS. I have tried to call the police to do well-being checks, and they basically laugh in my face. They're all being paid off. His family has money. They've had several unexplained deaths and immediate cremations. Like, it's just odd. I think that for my daughter's grandparents, they've watched almost all of their children die and get cremated, and they had very large life insurance policies on them. One of the granddaughters that died, she had a large life insurance policy on her, and her life insurance policy was paid out almost exactly a month before my daughter was taken away from me. They have tried to get me to kill myself. They have told me that they were going to, if I didn't kill myself, they were going to kill my kids. They have, God, they've done so many awful things to me. They put me in prison for a year on a probation violation where I only had 30 days of probation left to serve, and I would have completed 5 years of probation. And